The day of doom is coming.
Hello all. Today I'd like to take on a light topic, the survival of the human race. I tend to be pretty optimistic. From disease to climate change to asteroids and weird physics experiments, there's a lot that could potentially take us out. But none of them strike me as particularly likely. There is one that worries me, however, and that is war. We've reached a point where the kinds of conflict we had in the 20th century won't just kill millions, they will end civilization as we know it. It's not just nukes. Total war in the coming centuries will require the destruction of all the networks, both virtual and actual, that make modern life possible. Some people have gotten the impression from my videos that I am some sort of delusional pacifist who thinks we can wish war away. On the contrary, I think war is inevitable in the long run. The only question is how long we can stave it off. Will total war come again in our children's lifetimes? Or will it be in our great-great-great-grandchildren's lifetimes? The choices that we make today will determine whether total war returns in 50 years or 500 years. We are lucky enough to live in a period of worldwide balance that has largely held since 1945. There hasn't been a major war in over 70 years. Our task is to keep this balance for as long as possible. Unfortunately, at the moment, a strong US military is essential to maintaining this balance. This is unfortunate because the foreign policy ideology guiding our military-industrial complex is also the greatest threat to that balance. Let me explain. The world has benefited from a long period of balance before. From 1815 to 1914, there were only a couple brief clashes between great powers. It wasn't so great for the victims of imperialism, but it also let humanity as a whole accomplish a lot. This system collapsed mostly because people were dumb enough to think that their security could only be guaranteed by imperial expansion. With at least 4 powers with world ambitions packed into a small continent, it's amazing that the balance lasted as long as it did. The architects of 1815 deserve a lot of credit. In the end, it all fell to pieces and cost 100 million lives over 2 world wars. In defiance of all reason, and the fact that the United States may very well be the most secure country in history, our government is now operating with the same panicked imperial mindset that Europe had at the beginning of the 20th century. We don't take territory, but we have hundreds of military bases garrisoning the world, and we build more every year. The only way we could end up with a world war in the next 50 years is if everyone else teamed up against us. Washington, D.C. seems to be working steadily to bring about exactly that result. It's not because they are evil, it is because they have learned the wrong lessons from history. For the U.S. military-industrial complex, every potential rival is Hitler. It is always 1938, and appeasement is the enemy. This is the wrong analogy. There was no balance to maintain in the 1930s. The world was already on fire, and aggression was the order of the day. 1938's lessons are useless in a time of balance. We need to be thinking like the architects of 1815, not the combatants that were left over once their balance was destroyed. This is fairly obvious, but it is hidden by the nature of the military-industrial complex and the way that the interests of that complex monopolize all forms of communication. This is the central question of our times. We need the US military-industrial complex, but it is trying to kill us. I'll be expanding on this topic in the coming weeks. I hope to see you here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you want to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how.